Hello Year 12, Mrs Booth here, and I'd like to take you through the process of applying to university, outline the support available to you here in the sixth form, and very importantly to give you an overview of the time frame and deadlines involved. So applications to university are made online through UCAS, and you'll be able to start work on your actual application from mid-May. You'll be able to apply for up to 5 choices, though there are a few restrictions. For example, if you're applying for medicine, dentistry or veterinary courses, you're only able to select 4 of these options, but you will be able to include a 5th choice for a different course. For instance, many students applying to study medicine have a 5th choice of something like biomedical sciences as their insurance option. There is a small cost involved, and this needs to be paid by card once you've completed your application and just before you submit it to the school. Your choices are invisible to the universities you're applying to, so there's no need to put them in any particular order. Universities just don't see where else you're applying. You'll need to think about what's most important to you before deciding which universities to apply to. Unifrog is really useful to help your research here, as you can use the filter options to find different shortlists. But do remember that one of the most important things to consider is just do the standard entry requirements match your predicted grades. It's worth knowing that many universities offer contextual offers to students who meet certain criteria, often for students who will be the first generation of their family to attend university, or who have a particular postcode, for example. You can again use Unifrog to filter a search for these options. So students accepted onto these schemes receive a slightly lower offer. For example, instead of needing AAB, they might be offered a place if they achieve BBB. Really though, the most important thing you should be thinking about is what course do you want to study. It's definitely worth taking time to research carefully, as courses with the same title can be very different. Again, think about what's most important to you personally and consider what you'll be learning, how you'll be taught and how you'll be assessed, as well as what extra opportunities may be available within the course. Hopefully you will already be researching using Unifrog, and would also recommend that you sign up to the UCAS Hub. This is where you can use all the UCAS resources and save your research in one place. It's always advisable to go to the university websites to find out the most up-to-date information though. Universities will be adding to their websites as we move through the rest of the year, and there will be virtual open days to sign up for shortly. Just remember that at the moment the information displayed on university websites will be relating to courses beginning this autumn. Updated information about courses beginning in the autumn of 2022 should go live on the 4th of May. We really can't emphasise enough that it's best to begin your preparations early, and by now you should have already done some research and completed the Google form which asked for your initial post-18 ideas. So please complete this now if you haven't already done so, even if you're not sure of what you want to do yet. It's also important to have a realistic idea of the grades you expect to achieve at the end of year 13, though using your MEGs is often a good place to start. It's only when you know your general grade profile that you can begin to seriously consider which courses and universities are going to be the best fit for you. It's also a good idea to begin making some notes for your personal statement, but more about this a little later. In June and July, your tutor will be working with you to help you put together your personal statement, and we will also be holding sessions in school to help you to complete some of the trickier sections of the application. When you look at the actual UCAS application, it's important to understand that only some sections are completed by students themselves, and once you click Submit, your application isn't sent to UCAS, it's just marked as complete in the Advisor section, which is overseen by the sixth form team and your tutor. There's actually quite a lot of work for us to do once you submit your application, and this is why it's essential that you meet the school deadlines. So we put your reference together using information from your teachers and your tutor, and your predicted grades are provided by your subject teachers too. We do check your application before it's submitted to UCAS, but it is your responsibility to make sure that all the information you've entered is correct, and that you're applying for courses which match your qualifications and predicted grades. You're only able to include one personal statement in your application, so it must work for each of your course choices. This is your chance to make your application really stand out. We'll help you put together your statement later in the year, but for now you should be making note of anything you do which could be included. Anything extracurricular which shows that you're a well-rounded person who's going to make a fantastic contribution to the university, but maybe even more importantly, anything you do connected to your studies which goes beyond what you do in school. So any wider reading or research and any online courses. If you're interested in doing an online course, then you can access some of the MOOCs, which are the massive online open courses, and these are just from around the world, and you can access them all via Unifrog. When looking at entry requirements, please remember to check the fine detail, not just the headline grades or the UCAS tariff points which are quoted. Do make sure that you have the required GCSE grades and are taking the right qualifications as well. You'll see that some universities quote both grades and UCAS tariff points. So these points are fairly straightforward really. Each grade is worth a certain number of points, and the points for all of your final qualifications are added together to reach a total. So for instance, a course requiring 120 UCAS points will accept students who achieve this number of points with any combination of grades. So for example, BBB, ABC or AAD would all be fine here. The main thing to be wary about with points is that they're only counted once for each subject. For instance, if you achieve a grade B in A-level history, you will receive 40 UCAS points, even if you've got an AS level in history as well. So the all-important deadlines. So please keep to the timescale of what you should be doing during Year 12 and make sure that you leave plenty of time to work on your personal statement with your tutor. It's also going to be important to attend any sessions you're invited to in school. When you're looking at the UCAS website, it's very easy to be distracted by the UCAS deadlines. They'll be displayed everywhere, even though UCAS does advise that schools have earlier deadlines. But please remember that we need some time to complete your application, and it's the school deadlines that are the really important ones for you. Once your application's been submitted, universities will look first at your predicted grades and qualifications, then consider your personal statement, reference and whether you meet any other specific requirements for the course. Some courses, such as medicine, dentistry, some law and maths courses, plus many courses at Oxford and Cambridge, do require students to complete an admissions test, so do look out for this when doing your research. If you're applying for a course with an artistic or design-based element, then expect to have to produce a portfolio. Again, do your research early so that you know what you should be working on. If you're applying for a health-related course or other vocational course, such as education or social work, then expect to be called for interview too. You'll receive confirmation from UCAS as soon as your application's been submitted, and you'll be able to see the progress of your application in the track section of your UCAS account. You'll also respond to UCAS offers here, and you can make any changes to your contact information if you need to. So once the universities have replied to you, you can choose two offers. A firm choice, which will be the course you'll be automatically placed on if you meet the requirements of the offer, and an insurance choice, which will be a course you'd be happy to attend if you didn't meet the requirements of your first choice. Although it's tempting to reply to offers straight away, there's no need to rush to do this, and sometimes it's useful to take a little time and weigh up all the possibilities. Just make sure you don't miss your deadline for replying though. For students without offers, UCAS Extra and Clearing are available, but we hope that students do their research and make careful choices so that they receive offers they're happy with nice and early in the process. So I'd just like to reassure you that applying to university can be stress-free, but the key to this is beginning the process early and taking advantage of all the support and guidance we have on offer. If in doubt, just ask, but make sure that you ask the right people, either your tutor or a member of the sixth form team. Someone will always be around to talk to in the hills.